The kids are down. The wife's asleep.
So in 4 hours, you drank 15 Busch Lights.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at 8 o'clock, that's when you checked out and your wife had to deal with you.
Night time.
Night time.
Yeah.
Crack a beer. Pour a bourbon. It's After Dark. On ESPN Louisville Plus. Subscribe and smash that freaking like button. Now here's Justin Soforo.
Soforo. How do you
Soforo.
say Soforo? No, it's fur. It's fur, not four. That's why it's fur, man.
Soforo.
There you go.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Soforo. I don't know. Soforo? Soforo, my bad.
No, Soforo.
Here's Justin Soforo.
With Anna motherfucking Tarullo.
All right, what is up, everybody? Started a little bit late, but welcome back in to, once again, another edition of ESPN Louisville Plus After Dark. Getting started a little bit late. We had some things going on. I apologize, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. We didn't get the invitation, but I hope you enjoyed everybody else on ESPN Louisville reacting to the NCAA Tournament bracket, the games that will be, the games that have been, and of course the matchups for Louisville and Kentucky as they start. I say this tongue in cheek, but their journey to a national title. This used to be something that we used to be honest and I was effervescent and childlike in my excitement about what Louisville basketball, what Kentucky basketball could be. But welcome back in, Anna Tarullo joining me today. Back, the dynamic duo, I guess. We're back together once again. Lots of things have been happening. How are you doing? And yeah, welcome back. You can tell whatever you have to talk about where you've been.
I know it's been a minute, and I've missed this so much. So I'm so happy to be back, Soforo, back with the dynamic duo on our Sunday sauce, baby. But yeah, so I've been, it started out in January. I had another kind of reconstructive surgery from everything of my health stuff that I went through. So I expected to be off about 6 weeks, but then I started a new job and I was moving. So everything's been crazy, but I am so happy to be back, especially to talk about the tournament. And you couldn't have said it better yourself, that you just said it feels weird. Selection Sunday felt weird. I'm like, I'm normally way more invested. Like, I feel like, I don't know, it almost felt like an appointment on my schedule. Like, I have to pay attention to this. Like, yeah. I will, and I will cheer for the Cats, but I have major reservations, and it's fine. I'm not excited. I just have a bad feeling in my gut. Not that anything is going to go so bad like short term, but just long term, the prognosis just doesn't feel good. But anyway, I'm back. I would love to get back on the radio. I don't know if that's the future, just because I started this new job. So for now, I'm here with my boy Soforo, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm like, I hope this show is going to go well. I haven't done any type of podcast, anything since December.
It's been a minute, but that's kind of also the way that I like to do this. I really don't like to operate it like a normal radio show, because if you try to do that, there's so many beats you got to hit. By the way, speaking of not operating it like a normal radio show, I do want to give a shout out, though, to some of our partners at ESPN Louisville, that including, obviously, LG&E and KU, who are helping to sponsor us and to bring you this content that we're doing today. I just thought that'd be perfect timing. But definitely we appreciate them keeping the lights on, keeping the power on. Thanks to LG&E, this thing is able to run and hopefully keep us live as we talk all things cards and cats and the NCAA tournament. But it's weird. And first off, I do want to say I'm very thankful that everything seems to have gone smoothly with the procedure you had to deal with and your recovery and all of that. We knew that there was going to be time off from us doing this for a little bit. We had a couple guys filling in and stuff, but then it just got really hectic for both of our lives. So now hopefully we can get this thing back rolling, and we're excited to do this. It's a fun little thing to do before we have to get back into the work week, just have some fun talking about cards, cats, everything with there. I had to address a little bit of an elephant in the room, and that has to be, I guess, me and my persona on Twitter, and people not being happy about me being a big baby when it comes to Louisville athletics. And maybe it's just because I'm critical, and that's fine, and I welcome.
Do they know you? Have they met you?
Yeah, right. Like I don't, but also like it's all these people that are upset, and they just went there. They just, I don't know why I keep seeing that. I mean, I guess there's a reason I'm popping up in your algorithm. I don't know what to tell you. Even if you don't follow me, you can always block. You hit that block. It doesn't bother me one bit at all. But I'm sorry, when things are not going in the way that I perceive that Louisville basketball should be going, I'm going to comment on it. And the same people that are mad at me right now are the same people that are going to be coming back in a year or two when you realize that I was right all along.
Like
just like
Payne. Like you were about Kenny Payne.
Yes, just the Kenny Payne people, all these kind of people. And I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to get just kind of a feel for how these people work. I know that we like to romanticize sports, like fandom, if you will. Like there's this really big thing of like, I don't know if it's because it's collegiate athletics and people still have this kind of connection of these are kids, these are young lads going out there and playing,
for the love of the game.
Yeah, exactly. They're just going out there for the love of the game, trying as hard as they can, all that kind of stuff. And like, I guess that like you're not supposed to criticize these kids, like what? I don't get it. Especially
when you're a
now,
multi-millionaire sitting on the bench, like you're allowed to be criticized.
Thank you. And
now more than ever, you're allowed to be criticized.
Well, and it's because I've been giving strays or been taking shots at Isaac McNeely left and right, but he was the biggest waste. How much money they spent on him, whatever payday they gave him, I don't understand it. I don't understand what he has on Pat Kelsey, what he's holding against Pat Kelsey to make him to continue to give him playing time. When Kenai Roots went out there and got like 11 points in a few minutes there, and then never saw playing time again. And yes, I'll give credit to Isaac McNeely for going out there, getting 4 stitches in his head, and coming back in there. But when you're coming out there and you're just bricking 3 after 3 after 3, maybe just recover on the bench. Just sit over on the bench and recover and let somebody else who can actually bring something to the table. And again, and I'm sorry, I just had to get this off my chest real quick. The defense, piss poor, miserable defense. And yeah, now my internet's like, I'm going out. We're all like whatever the TV's behind me. Everybody's done. They're done. That's Lottie. Is it Lottie? Is it PK? Is somebody else taking me off the air already just because of these takes?
It's not Lottie. Lottie would never do that.
Okay, actually, no. Love Lottie. She's actually liked a couple of my tweets in the past, not the recent ones, but in the past. So I have love for Lottie now. But anyway, just out there overall, like my thing is to have some sort of a standard. Ethan Moore talks about it. All these people talk about it, and it's one of the things that like Louisville fans can get mad at me, but I have a respect for Kentucky fans, Streeble, people like that, because you're not going to settle for shit. You're not going to settle for it. You're not going to
glorify shit. Even in football, we're not going to pretend it's something it's not. Like, and we're used to sucking. But like we're not, and I'm glad you said that, because I think that is a big beef, at least at the station, between Kentucky and Louisville fans. It's like, at least we're honest and we'll hate our team more than anybody. I will hate Kentucky football and basketball more than anyone on earth because I want the best for them. It's called tough love. Look it up. You know what I mean? And so I feel like Louisville fans or commentators did have this kind of predisposition to be like, no, like, let's be grateful for it and let's sunshine pump. And I get it, but I don't really get it. It's like, let's be honest so we can kill the problem quicker. If it's a bad coach or whatever, if you spend years kissing their ass, you're stuck with it longer.
I'm going to take a little bit of a sniper shot at my guy, Zach. No offense, Zach. And I know you're not watching because, he's not watching. It's fine. He ain't going to watch. Because he's not talking right now. It's all love. I'm just kidding. It's all love. But Zach started the show today saying, and I know I texted this to a couple people, but I want to make sure I get it right. And he said, this is the first time I turn on the radio, like right at like 7 o'clock. I want to hear what they have to say. And Zach saying, let's not take this for granted. 3 years ago, ... Like going on about like when Kenny Payne was here, now you didn't have it. So now don't take a 6 seed for Louisville basketball.
You're not like granted. South Carolina basketball. Like that was the deviation from the mean. Yeah. Like that's what that was. Like
that's
I don't get that at all. Like have some pride.
It's also like okay, Ohio State man. Ohio State football fan, like you should know this lane. You should understand. Yeah, you should understand the standard that we have here. Anyway, that being said, how are they not going to invite the king and queen of EL Plus? Thank you. One day, if we keep this up, you can't ignore us. It'll happen eventually.
You feel good. They can't ignore you. Okay.
We'll see.
But let's start by being on time, and that's on me.
Exactly. It's fine. It's fine. The people know what they're getting, and I think a lot of people like the later. Trice says, "Welcome back, Anna. Sorry these teams aren't better to liven your spirits," and that's fair.
Yeah, that has been tough, and it's been a personal problem. So they should think about me next time they want to perform poorly, rebounding or otherwise.
So let's go ahead and get into it. Louisville and Kentucky have found out who they'll be playing. Louisville, of course, has the Thursday, but thank God, even though there were a lot of bad reports out there. I guess his name was Rick something Field, or it was Manfield or something. It was like some kind of joke Twitter account that put it out there.
It was like a fake guy.
Yeah, it was a fake guy account, and Nick Valvano got, and not just Nick though, but like a lot of people on social media. We're talking about like real journalists. I think even pause. Real journalists and Matt Jones also got too. There we go. Pause. And Maddie Banks got as well. Putting out there at different times. And the reason they got us was because Louisville basketball, they had listed with the 12 p.m. start time on Thursday. And I was like, 3 out of 3 times the last time Louisville was played in the NCAA tournament, they've been the very first game, and it's been one and done. And that's been my tournament. And then it's slightly better. Louisville plays at 1:30 on Thursday against the South Florida Bulls. And Kentucky will play at 12:15 on Friday against Santa Clara in that 7-10 matchup. I think we get a lot of Louisville coverage here lately, especially with the guys talking earlier. So let's just go into Kentucky first. If and I know it's been a while since you've been able to get much off of your chest when it comes to Mark Pope and how this season's gone.
Funny is I almost took this time to just take a little break from it all. I think it was a double whammy with how football season went, and there was no upward momentum there. And then when basketball season started, it was like I almost didn't have the emotional stamina to go through it again. So I have been like the lead, and this is so horrible for somebody who's, a commentator or trying to have analysis, but like I just had to like remove myself, and I think just understand that it's different, right? So right. I think year 2, you're seeing the difference between Cal and Mark Pope is a lot bigger, and in terms of personality and everything, and even in Cal's pressers, like it's for the name on the back of the jersey, not the front, and like I've been successful everywhere I went, and maybe they hated me, and we can piss them off or piss. What do you say? He's like, you can be pissed off, or you can piss off, or you get pissed on. Okay, cool. Like you lost to St. Peter's in Oakland. Like, let's not revisit.
I can't help it. I got goo eyes. I got goo eyes for him when he said it. It's that he's gone now. So now I love him. Now I'm like, oh, I missed this build of coach. I missed the Patino Cal build. I missed the
and it's like the Python. It's like, and I agree with you. This is my whole point. Like, I miss. Mark Pope lacks a certain amount of charisma where it's almost like a cult leader. It's like, it doesn't matter. We're going to drink Kool-Aid in the end. You're driving us to our death, but we're going to be excited about it. Okay. Like Mark Pope lacks all of that. So we got none of that. And I just think as the season went on this year, I became less and less of a believer. So it's like, okay, we're revealing the bracket. Do I think they're going to lose in the first round? I mean, it's a good Santa Clara team, and I'll get into it in a minute. But it's like, I just know long term that this isn't the choice. So it's like, and I know he's not going to win a national championship. I know that's not possible for him with the most expensive roster and with whoever. He's not that guy. Like, he's not that guy. So it's like, even with Calipari, when you were so pissed off at him, you knew there was a chance in March. And I think he's just about the only coach like that, really. Like, you could argue, like, oh, Tom Izzo, like, always shows up in March. He's won 1 championship. Like, at least Calipari's getting you to Final Fours. Like, he's not always delivering because he wasn't a great coach. So he's losing to Wisconsin, et cetera. But you knew there was some excitement. There was a surprise in store, right? With Mark Pope, there's like 0 surprises in store. Like occasionally he hits the target of what he should hit, but a lot of the times you are disappointed. But let's start. Yeah, pause.
No. If you have more to keep going, I just real quick, I want to interject on that.
But that was just my preamble. That was just off the cuff. So I would love. Well, I'm welcoming applause.
The only question I had for that, I guess, crap. I lost it just that moment. There was something I had to that. Well, I guess just in general, that's a point where we're gonna have to kind of like. I know we're going to spend a lot of the offseason when we get there reflecting on it, but there is a big part of me with that when it comes to Pat Kelsey and Mark Pope is like, how much does it matter that we kind of like know deep down these guys are not going to win national titles? Like, I just I think
that's everything.
Yeah. Because like I know there's Danny Hurley who had a couple like rough years. He came out of Rhode Island, but going into UConn, I think it was kind of I'd say a fairly different situation with UConn because UConn is one of those powers, but then they had gotten into rough terrain for a while. Oh, that's what it was. Sorry. Also about Calipari, when you make comments on Calipari about him, losing to St. Peter's and teams like that. How much of that do you also feel like there's self-sabotage there with, the administration and, Barnhart against Cal and everything?
And I'm glad you brought that up because I thought about that today. And that becomes like a different problem today with Mitch Barnhart retiring, right? Because it's like, okay, we say, maybe Cal's performing better, but it was still time to go, which I do still believe that. And large part of that was because of the administration. So when that administration is gone, it's annoying because it's like you could have kept him there. It just made it easier for him to build a facility. We're being a little, am I allowed to cuss? Being a little bitch about building a basketball facility or like respecting the culture of basketball at all. Like none of that makes sense. So I think like it is a loss. Like I think Calipari did need to go circumstantially without all of the relationships where he wasn't performing at the highest level of how he should. The past, I'd say since 2019, right? So, but I think that's a loss that could sting more once you get a new administration in there and see how they operate and how they are political in a good way and deal with people. You know what I mean? Like somebody a little bit more understanding of the current landscape. But I mean, I'm still not sad to see Cal go. I think year 2 is a little bit easier to just to digest if he performs better than UK. It helps that UK beat them regular season, right? I think everybody got sick of it being a wild card at the end of the season. Like they could suck all season and be frustrating with that amount of talent and still fail to perform. I still think everybody would be frustrated by that. But Mark Pope can still not be the man for the job, and it still would have been okay to let Cal go. Like it's not mutually exclusive, right?
Yeah.
And I'm at a point in year 2, I didn't think it would happen so soon where it's like, okay, like I can be happy for Calipari. I never thought I would feel that way. Not against Kentucky, but like in the tournament, it doesn't feel like such a, like the record is the record and who you lost to is the record. And in sucking and losing to St. Peter's and Oakland, like you still did that. You can't blame administration or anybody on that when you had that much talent, okay? That still happened. And I think as Mark Pope becomes even more obviously not the man for the job, that, like, okay, cool, Cal. Like, I hope you do well.
Yeah, this is a hard thing for me. Because there's so many times, I already see some comments here about Soforo going to be a St. John's fan. He did what he did. And
I'm a St. John's fan. I don't give a shit.
I'll be honest.
I want that man back. I want Rick back. I don't care. I want him back.
Okay. I'm glad we're both there because I was watching him yesterday and I was, it was that X that you're like, damn it. Like
every complaint about what we have in a new coach, Rick Pitino set that standard as a new coach of what they should be. And that's when you were talking about Danny Hurley, like maybe not success right away, but he had that like underlying foundation, the same thing as like a Pitino of like a very just cerebral, great basketball. A psycho, a literal psycho, a basketball psycho. And you knew you had that, so you knew the greatness would come. And at least you were making improvements every year, right? So I think like Rick Pitino, at least he set that standard. I would say Denny Crum like set a great standard as well, at Louisville, but like
Denny's a different mold. You know what I mean? Like and that's one of the things too with Denny Crum when he came in, or when obviously when I say that, I grew up very tail end of Denny Crum's career. I wasn't in the 80s. I didn't get to witness the greatness as much as I did. When I was really coherent as a Louisville basketball fan, were some of the not so great years. It was, back when he was, you had Reese Gaines there at the end, but you saw outside of what, we talk about the Marcus Maben team that beat the 97 Kentucky team, or 90, was the 98, 97, 98 Kentucky team. That was the highlight really of Denny Crum in my lifetime at the end there. And I love Denny. It's, it's like that. It's like, it's grandpa kind of thing. He had his own little swagger to him, but it wasn't, and I guess we're just so used to now the Paisan, the Cal, the Rick, that kind of swagger, that got the New York kind of whatever thing and all that kind of stuff. Yes, it is.
Different. I almost just cussed real bad, but it's effing different.
You're allowed to do that on here. That's the plus of EL Plus is that you can say whatever you want.
Having like a real nerdy guy. Maybe we do need a salesman, but we need a good. And Rick Pitino's good at being both. You know what I mean?
It's so funny though to see the change from like Kentucky fans who, hey, you had to hate him for so long because he was at Louisville, but then now like, for both of us,
now he's not even good anymore. Now I'm like, come back, please. I'll do anything.
I mean, and see, the thing is, too, is like, if anything proved today, this year, I've seen conspiracy theories out there about Rick being, like, did he choose to like lose that game for Pope and all that? I'm like, no, I think he still probably just has that Kentucky thing that he will never shake and he can never whatever because he's so.
But does that not tell you everything of how he develops a freaking team? By the end of the year, they're winning the conference championship. Like, they were not good. Everybody at the beginning of the season was saying Pitino's done. Pitino's over. And look at him now.
That was a team. Yeah, that was a team where everyone was saying Pitino better lock in. Yeah. What do you think Pitino does? Like, have you watched Rick Pitino basketball ever? He locks in. But see, and that's also a criticism that I have here because we're bouncing between these coaches, and I promise we're going to talk NCAA tournament stuff. The problem is like a lot of the stuff is associated with it because it's how I view these coaches and how I view. The problem is you look at this NCAA tournament and it's like, can they put together some wins? Mark Pope's proven, regardless of how bad of a coach he's looked at times during the season, Mark Pope has proven that he can win in moments against top quality opponents. It shocks me to this day. He beat Rick. He beat Calipari. He's beat Tennessee. He's won so many of these different games that it's like it blows me away. Yeah, it's the way that he's able to put it together in some of those games. It confuses me.
Why? Like, even if you get those big wins, like
because you're gonna lose to a team like who are they playing? What's the name of the team again? Santa Clara. Did you lose to Santa Clara?
Okay, I think this is what it was. I think this is what it is, and we're diagnosing this because with Cal, it was the same thing. Like, you could lose head scratchers, but you knew. If talent was on full throttle, you always had a chance to win. And even with the most expensive roster in college basketball this year, which I love Dick Vitale called out, which is BS because there's really not a lot of talent there. I don't know how that – like, let's talk about bad finance. Let's talk about bad economics because that's number one. You paid way too much for what you got. Not top-tier talent at all. Yeah. But with Cal,
Isaac McNeely was looked at as one of the top shooters in the country. He was one of the most coveted shooters in the country.
What is this? It's like, so even with Cal, you knew the talent was there and you knew maybe he wasn't as strict on them like all season long, but at the end of the season, they're going to buy in for Cal and they will not buy in for Pope. Like, there is something there.
They don't respect him.
There? Yeah. Yes. And they won't buy in for him, and I don't think they'll buy in for each other, and it doesn't even feel like the same Kentucky brand. And that's why I think that it's almost like depression. It's almost like I'm just disinterested in this. It's like I'm on one of those commercials, those depression pill commercials where it's like, have you lost interest in the activities that you usually find joy in? And I'm like, yes, but it's because of Mark Pope. Like, it's not because of clinical depression. I will diagnose me with Mark Pope syndrome right now. It's called MPS, Mark Pope syndrome. Look it up. It's a new thing. And because I just know, like, there's no cues huge upside. Like maybe they will. Otega Owe will remember who he is and like have a great game winner, right? He'll drive to the basket, take over the game. But it's like there's something there that they don't respect him. But I think that's where Cal gets that like mafia swag, like and Rick Pitino too, because they were a little bit scared of it. There was just like what is the word? It's not even swag. It's just like I don't know. It's like a
aura. They have an aura. It's an aura about them. Yeah.
They have. And like Mark Pope would shit his pants if Rick Pitino were mad at him. It's like, you need to be the daddy. You're scared of the daddy, but you need to be the daddy, Mark Pope. You are the daddy and act like it.
Yeah, Patino's one of those guys. He walks in the room and you notice him, kind of thing. I remember being a fat little kid.
Should I run a lap? I'll run a lap. I don't care. You're here, coach. I'll run bleachers. I don't care.
Exactly. But it's one of those things. It's one of those things that's crazy to me too now, thinking about a year or two ago when Kentucky was making the change, when Cal had gone. And, it had gone through a couple guys. And before they settled for Mark Pope, I was like, man, is there a chance that they actually try to do this? Do they try to bring him home to Camelot? I think right now, I think if I'm Kentucky, this is out there. This is crazy. But like, if I'm the new AD that's coming in here and I want to put, like quick win stamp on this thing, you bring back Pitino 2.0. Like, it may be only for a few more years, but he shows he's still got it. And here's the thing. Big East, a little bit. The Big East is kind of, it's a very top-heavy league. There's some shitty teams in that league. Sure. At the same time, though, when you have UConn, you have Danny Hurley, you see what he can do. You're playing against what I view as one of the top 5 teams in the country all the time. So if you're beating that team, you can beat anybody. You can win a title.
Yes, and not to be like weird, but like at Pitino's age, like with their start of the season, the fact that he's still doing that, and if he's at Kentucky again, like with the like amenities you get, with the financials you get, with the there's another word I'm looking for, like all the support you get, right?
Yeah.
I
facilities. They're going to build the new facility.
Coaching position now. It's like, and that's less hard than what he did at Kentucky the first time, coming off probation, harder to recruit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do get that. And I think that's a very valid and that's a very smart observer point. Is like the next idea you hire, how are you going to have immediate success? And how did Mark Pope have immediate support? We're showing you're going to do it exactly different than what the last guy did. So what is the next ID going to do? Like, how will he or she like get people excited? And it's by saying, hey, I'm not going to leave you in like the ditch here. I'm going to do something different than what the last guy did, which was silly and which was nothing and which was overwrought and overthought. And it's just thinking, why did we expect anything else from Mitch Barnhart? Like, no disrespect from him, but it was like, I'm almost like, I'm not embarrassed yet, but I'm almost embarrassed of like how hard I tried to sunshine pump, right? Like in the beginning when Mark Pope got hired, I really thought like we maybe did have a Danny Hurley, like a cerebral guy, but it's like Danny Hurley is a sociopath and Mark Pope is not. Like you need you can be a cerebral guy, but you need to be crazy and you need to be a lot of bit mean.
Oh, yeah, no, a lot of that.
Mean, and Mark Pope's not mean enough.
So, and again, you've been absent, so I do want to hear some of your opinions that I haven't gotten yet. Like, especially my question is, I guess for you personally, when the news came out that Barnhart's retiring, that he is going to retire in this offseason and going to take that role that pays him almost $1 million a year, whatever, it's fine. Whatever, it's insane. If he cared enough about the program.
Like people discussing it. It's like, okay, then be clear about what your role is and what you're getting paid for, or like don't comment on it.
Yeah, and how much power you're still going to have.
Government? Like, is this the government? Like, be honest.
You're the shadow. You're the secret society. You're on Epstein's island. Anyway, you're that whole group. Yeah, you're doing all that stuff. So I guess my personal opinion, or my question to you, your personal opinion, your reaction to that, especially given where you just signed up for Mark Pope, you're in year 2, it's somewhat of a disaster. He saved it a little bit there at the end again. But it's not Kentucky standard. And the way I look at it, the same thing, and people getting mad. Okay, let me just also preface it with this: the people getting mad at me about the criticism on PK. I think I put out a tweet there saying, when you go with the discount coach and you also get discount players, you're going to get discount results. Is what I said, and everybody got so mad at me. I'm not saying fire Pat Kelsey. I never said that once. And while maybe I think that's probably where the end game could be, I still think it's a situation where I look at the administration. Louisville's probably going to at least give him probably 4 to 5 years total to prove that he can win a tournament game. Just because I just don't see that they feel pressure to win big now, and I think they're okay with mid results. You know what I mean? Kentucky's not there. It does. It makes me angry. It's why I yell and I scream.
To be honest about that, it's weird that other people aren't.
I don't know. Like, I see what I don't know and I don't understand is, like, is it me that am I the wrong one? Not wrong, but am I the one that grew up with this and has this experience, and all these people that are, hidden Cardsman 69 accounts that are yelling at me, are these all guys, whatever? And I know there's one bum dude who's a pretend, whatever media guy who wants to try to take shots at me. That's fine. I don't give a damn what he has to say. He's been trying to do media forever, and I'm not even doing it. I'm just a fan. I don't even pretend to be media. I just do this for fun. This is fun to me. But it's not. But I'm not. Like, I'm just having fun as a side thing, trying to help ESPN Louisville. That's all I do. And the thing with it, to me, my issue is it because you all, like, have you spent most of your time in Louisville being in the dumpster, like in the dumpster fire, that this is now you're fine with it? Like, you're just, that's where you think the level is.
I have a theory on this, and like Shreve will help me with this, because it was shocking to me. I remember when I started the station, like, honestly, grew up in Louisville, right? Always been a UK fan, but then worked for UK sports media, like directly, like worked for JMI. Even at I was employed by JMI, even like through the news station that I worked for on the show I was on. So it was like, is this just me, like, not understanding, or like me, whatever? But even sure from the beginning, and this is like, nobody come after him, but he was like Louisville fans, like a little bit delusional. And I was like, okay, like, it's a rivalry, you take it. Like, very delusional, and I think that goes on like both like hands, like both ends of the spectrum. With football, it's delusional of like, okay, yeah, like Brom's gonna go undefeated and he's gonna be the next Bear Bryant, he's gonna be the best coach that ever led. But then there's also the delusion of like, you're not as good as you think you are in basketball, and that's okay to admit, because then you can want better. Like, nobody's hating you for that. Like, just be honest with yourself and what you really want and what your standard is. Does that make sense at all? It's like, you don't have to be. I think people are pretending it's okay just as well, like they do in football. Like, no, we are good and this is fine and we're succeeding, but it's like a defensive mechanism. And I think, and I'm not trying to be a hater, people aren't going to love this, and you're probably not going to love this. I think that comes from being like almost like little brother in a way. It's like always having to defend yourself and your accomplishments. And I don't mean it disrespectfully. It's like, you're almost used to being in that zone, being like, okay, yeah, like, but we're right there with you, and we're trying, and we're close to it, and we're going to get there. But it's like, no, like, you can be honest with yourself. It doesn't say, like, it's not saying you're weak for saying like, this coach isn't good and we need to look at it again. You know what I mean? Like, I think that says you have higher standards and hold yourself to a higher standard. You're more of a blue blood if you think that way.
Yes, and that's kind of one of my biggest problems, and I'm 100% on board with what you're saying. A lot of it has to do with, like, I grew up as a fan. Like, when I picked to be a Louisville fan, a lot of it had to do with I was a child, and it's just kind of like, you're a kid in the 90s, and there's a little bit of the, like, for some reason, you grow up on like underdog stories, you know what I mean? And like at the time, and even overall,
Louisville, that's tradition in college basketball. I'm crying at the end.
See, that was me. And then, except for like with nobody cares about this stuff. Italian soccer, Juventus. I picked what was the Kentucky of Italian soccer kind of thing. And everybody hates Juventus, and it's all Jason Entz and people like that taking shots left and right. And the thing is, like, when it comes to that's how I view it. I was like, Louisville was this underdog, but the difference at this point, I just have to give him his flowers and his credit. But all the hate, all the backlash with the Jurge stuff and the way that the media is treated with Jurge and all that. But the man just knew how to put together winning programs. He got that shit done. And Louisville became, it was cheesy, and you kind of roll your eyes when he says the
personality of like a Calipari or a Patino. Like, I don't know how he's not Italian, but he has the same thing. You know what I mean?
When he said, he said the little brother's 6'2", 250 or whatever his kind of line. It was that joke, but there was truth to that. Louisville had it rolling during those years, especially during the 2012, 2013 that season, during the year, that kind of stuff. And there was a little bit of that, like the regression, the going back to, and all the just continued shots in the foot that Louisville has done since then. And when you look back at it now, about a decade later now, and I'm just sitting here thinking, hey, we should have just stuck by Rick. That's what you should have done. Is you should have just said, you should have just put it on the table and said, fuck y'all, Rick Pitino, Tom Jurich, we're riding this out. Like, come at me, big boy.
Like the state of programs now, because it's like I think like Louisville wanted to do the right thing and be like, let's come clean, like let's separate ourselves from this and be very clean. But it's like every big program who's had any type of investigation, they like almost like big D word and like whatever, investigate us. Like we're not stopping shit. Like we're a top tier blue blood and you're gonna get over it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, was that the right move? Like, who knows? Who could even say? But it's like that bravado was missing, that it's like, we're Louisville, try us. Like, try us anyway to take us down. It doesn't matter. We're keeping our coach. We're not going to be nice. But it was almost like that little brother like mentality. And I'm not being like hateful by that. But it's you have to escape that and be like, we're bigger than this.
Well, but it was also just, it was kind of a weird move. Out of all the there's kind of like that, whatever, not being a dirty program, but like doing stuff a certain way against the what's popular and what's normal and all that kind of stuff. And then to be like, no, we want to be goody two shoes and here we're going to cooperate and help you out and hire Chuck Smart and completely screw ourselves over. By the way, Thomas Grant says, can we get the 6A Selection Sunday show loaded on the podcast? Yeah, it should be on there soon. The two guys that are in the studio are Nick Valvano and Zach Cantrell. So God bless you. Good luck. We'll see. It'll be on there in the next 7 to 10 hours. It should be. No, I imagine one of them will get it up before they leave. But it'll be on there. I promise you.
He just texted me. Let's see what he said. He said, okay, well, he texted me. Let's see. 20 minutes ago and just said, the dogs.
Dogs. Zach something else. By the way, guys, if you're in here, do me a solid favor, smash that freaking like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching us on Twitter, Facebook, one of the other things, come on over to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to bring you more and more content. Hopefully, throughout this tournament and this off season, I'm thinking fun things with hopefully Anna will be here with me and other people like that. We'll have some, Phil and I are tossing around some ideas in the background, stuff that we want to do. Also want to thank one of our sponsors, Boom Boss Pizza and Watch Bar. Make sure any of your sports watching, pizza having, any kind of thing you want to enjoy your time, make sure you go over to Boom Boss. There's a bunch of different locations around Louisville. There's one near where I live over off Hurstbourne, one over off of Eastern Parkway and Bardstown Road, and you can find them everywhere. Great pizza, good times. And I did this with, I don't have a read, so I'm just giving you the honest take. Boom Boss, good stuff. all I have is a list of our sponsors. Yeah, I'm just coming up with stuff. I'm just coming up with it, but we love our guys over at Boom Boss and appreciate their support there all the time. They I think it's like a year ago, back when we were doing the shows. The college football prediction shows or whatever with Jeffries and all them or whatever, and we did one out there and we had a good time. So yeah. Anyway, so I there's so much I feel like during this offseason because we're gonna be able to talk, and thank you, Jimmer, appreciate you tuning in. He says thank you guys for this. I appreciate it. We're having a blast. This is kind of what we like to do on Friday, on Sundays, Sunday evenings. So it worked out even better being that this is Selection Sunday that we're able to bring this back to you. Getting back into the tournament though, and guys, let me know in the comment section and all that kind of stuff. Let me know your opinions. Let me know if you disagree. Like if you're one of those hating ass people that wants to have a conversation with me or just hates on me or whatever about my opinions and my takes when it comes to Pat Kelsey and Louisville, drop your comments in there. We can battle it out. Maybe I'll open the phone line. We'll see how I feel tonight. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I am more than happy. I'm more than happy to be hated on. That's okay.
I love being hated.
I get it. Like it's like I have my opinion. It's fine if you love the team and everything's great and this is all good to you. Have at it, buddy. Feel great. Enjoy the feel good. I just don't feel that good.
You're gonna feel good until all of my predictions come true. I'll show you the truth.
I mean, maybe I'm spoiled.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm anytime. Strebel, it's the same stuff that Strebel gets. Strebel I'll give Strebel credit all the time because he does not shy away from like the standard. Like he didn't say the standard is the standard because he doesn't have to do that, because Kentucky fans don't have to do that. But he, doesn't have to shy away from his opinions of what Kentucky basketball and Kentucky football should be. And that's the same thing I'm going to do when it comes to Louisville basketball.
Do it.
I guess real quick, and then we'll touch back more on Kentucky. But Louisville, this is something that obviously I can give takes on. I don't know if your opinion. I know you were definitely high on Pat Kelsey early in the season. I don't know what your opinion of him kind of is now, but Louisville basketball will take on Thursday the USF Bulls. It feels like an old school Conference USA AAC matchup. The former team of Case and Pryor, who fell off a fucking cliff this year. He came back for like a few minutes here and there, but overall, not a lot of Case and Pryor this season. And I guess just the matchup, what it says to me, I think a lot of Ethan Moore described this South Florida team, and I'm not going to pretend like I watched a lot of South Florida this year, but the South Florida team, they're a fine team. They're very much, he called them a poor man's Louisville. And I was like, isn't Louisville kind of poor man's Louisville right now? But at the same time,
I love how honest you are, because you're saying my thoughts. I was like, okay, they're in a soup kitchen line. Like
that's what, exactly. That's what it feels like.
I don't know.
But I guess going into this, and I went through some of the numbers, just because I was like again, am I wrong? Am I wrong about Pat Kelsey? Because I get it, and like again, that's Streeble, and I appreciate Streeble's in the chat right now and stuff like that too. Says, I'm glad Anna name dropped me for helping her realize the psyche of Louisville fans. So,
he knows that. Streeble acts like he's not my greatest mentor on earth.
He has moments of clarity, but he also has moments where he still goes a little too far, or he just refuses to look in the mirror. He just won't look at it. It's over in the corner. He won't look at it. He'll look straight ahead. He's my my grandfather was 95 years old and just doing this, and I'm like, you're gonna cause a wreck because you're just going straight. You can't see what's next to you. You have no idea. He's fine. Anyway. This is a scenario, and I saw a lot of people saying it too with Pat Kelsey. It's I can't pretend to hot take it and say it's a do or die moment for Pat Kelsey, but I think for a lot of the fan base, not including me, because I've never said we need to fire Pat Kelsey. I'm just not a believer in Pat Kelsey. He's going to need to prove to me that I need to believe him in him, and that he's going to be one of these up and coming next tier coaches. Because a lot of people said when Louisville hired, I think it was Nick Valvano, said that he was an up and coming coach. And I looked at I went through back some of those records. Was he an up and coming coach? Because he was like a high mid tier coach. Like he was winning against the bums, but like every team in
that era would have been like Dan Hurley, who's coming off like 2 national championships. Like that's an up and comer. Like
well, he's there at that point, but yes, but right before, a little bit a little bit early on in his career for sure. I look at Pat Kelsey and I'm like, every game of merit, every game of note. The only thing that you could really say about him was that his Charleston teams played them close. They were kind of close. They only. At
least they play hard.
Yeah, like that Alabama team that went to the Final Four. They played them in the first round, and they played them within 10, 11 points. And I'm like, great. That doesn't do shit for me. Like that doesn't tell me that you're going to win that game. Like that doesn't tell me that you deserve to be the head coach of Louisville. And that's one of my biggest. Yes.
I think you have the right mindset. Like it's Louisville. Like you're not at a freaking Iowa State, who's now a 2 seed, who has a great coach. You're at Louisville. Who's like, if you don't count them as a blue blood, like personally, I don't know, but like right on the outskirts.
Get the hell. Okay, no, we're not doing this today. We're not doing this today. We're not doing this. Get the fuck out of here about Louisville's not a blue blood. I'm not gonna. No, that's the one thing.
Conversation.
Sorry, that's the one thing you and I will battle on. We will battle. If Michigan State,
Florida,
do you count Michigan? Is Michigan State a blue blood?
In March. How many championships?
In March, they don't have as many championships as Louisville has. Like, if we're just counting Final Fours, get the hell.
You're right. Maybe I need to work on my criteria.
Like Yes, Florida's jumped Louisville. Yeah, like UConn jumped Louisville. Both of these teams in my lifetime have jumped Louisville, but I still consider Louisville blue blood. Like, I mean, if you want to say that the 2013 one doesn't count, and we're gonna get into those kind of weeds, then maybe. If we're sitting on that, if we're really gonna sit here and say it was, it doesn't count, it'll be reinstated before you know it.
It was like a lot of it is like cultural. Like culturally, I felt like they were until you hire Pat Kelsey and everybody's okay with it, but you aren't. Like you have a blue blood attitude. Like, and I think that's a great compliment. Like,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Attitude. Like, is this our standard? Like, or not?
Yeah.
Like, am I going to pretend to be happy with it? It's like, it reminds me a little bit of Kentucky football. It's like, we can win once in one season. We're building a statue. It's like, okay, it's going to get desperate, but do it.
We can do the discussion on the blue blood set. That'll be that's great, off season talk. Well, that could be a whole show. That's fine. Back on. Sorry, it's easy for me to get. And again, that's how I kind of like to do these shows. I'm not trying to do a strict radio show. It's two people talking. Hopefully more people, like I said, someday if Streeble wants to join during the summer, people like that, we can have a few people in here. We'll just be chatting it up and having a good time. It's not as formal. It's just not.
I like that. I think that's what people want.
Yeah, I love that about doing these kind of shows overall. But again, and if you love watching these kind of shows, you can support the people that support us. You can get the like button, hit that subscribe button. That'll support us. And I don't know. Again, Lottie or whoever's trying to take me out behind here by taking my internet offline. But you can join our friends over at Cox's and Evergreen Liquors. Streeble, I wish he were here right now to give the whole thing, because I'm sure he has it memorized at this point. But Cox's and Evergreen Liquors, get all your party favors, all your all your alcohol, all your cigars, cigarettes, all that kind of good stuff. Cox's and evergreenliquors.com. Make sure you go and join them over there. Okay, then here comes Streeble with the take. Remember the idiot here to hang banners when that start Pope. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What did you say?
No, that's not Streeble. That's somebody else. Okay. Only blue bloods.
Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, UND. I would agree, but you kind of have to. Well, UCLA and IU demoted. Yeah, UConn promoted. I would agree, but I think like if your criteria is like historical, well then even Duke I feel like wasn't super successful until like later on. But like if you like, let's say like you watch the movie Glory Road, like who are they talking about? Like UK, Duke, Kansas. Like that's crazy in the 60s for those probably the teams, but. I think Florida and UConn especially, and I think there's something about the respect of being in the Big East that's different for UConn. Like it just feels more of like a basketball school. Florida does like being a predominantly like both school or football school hurt them. Yeah. I don't know, but I mean they are right there.
I can hear this because I see what Streeble's doing. I like it to a point. To me, the hard part is if you're just wanting to say history and that's it, then I can kind of hear the Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, and UNC one. To me, it's hard because less than UCLA, less than IU, even though IU has 5, and again, they've been lost in the woods for this long and all that. UCLA hasn't done anything, obviously, since Wooden, outside of a couple Final Fours.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, Jordan for our years. That was like my childhood crush.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I was in love with him. I got to that one time. Like, oh my God. The best. I just share that.
I love it. The part where he loses me though is the UConn and Florida. Like to me, I think UConn and Florida have gotten there. Like UConn, like it's new blood, blue blood, but like UConn so consistently to pile that many championships in this like 2-decade plus ish time frame is so impressive. Like you
see them on the schedule and they inspire fear like a blue blood. You're like, it's UConn. Like there's basketball respect there. It's different.
I mean, and this was before they had won like over half of those titles. When Louisville first joined the Big East, and they had Hasheem Thabeet. Like I haven't felt feelings in a basketball game. Like it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be uncomfortable. Like I can feel it in my body. Like I was scared. Like I was scared of this man. This dude was a monster. But like he Like he instilled fear into me, and Louisville went in there, and I think they lost the first couple, but then Rick kind of did his thing, and then he flips that script, and he knows. And after that, he had like UConn and Calhoun's number from then on out. But I remember it was that Hashim Thabit team. Do what?
Like 2004, like Emeka Okafor, when the men and the women
yes
both won. Like,
yeah,
it's so naturally. Mm-hmm. So I guess because like football's not like, so it's like, okay, basketball, like I don't know what it is. And I think maybe does having a women's program with a lot of tradition, I don't know how much that has to do with it, but I think that year in 2004 when they both won titles and that like Emeka Okafor year.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Like, I feel like that changed things.
No, I can see that for sure. It's I think it was just more of I had a personal relationship with it because the team playing and having to play them every year. And it was, I remember because like Syracuse is kind of, I'll say this quietly because I know people get mad or whatever. Oh, you tell me to go find another team. I like underdogs. I like Syracuse, but my family's also from Syracuse, Sicily, so that's kind of why too. But I like it for a few reasons. But Syracuse,
you like those badass white boys.
That was that that was that 09 season where they took them to 7 overtimes or whatever, and then Louisville beat a exhausted Syracuse team. So I was loving it. Johnny Flynn back in the day. That was when I thought like Syracuse still had aura back then too. Like in those teams.
They were like almost blue blood conversation for a while, I would say. Yeah. Like they were close. They were right with Carmelo. They were as far from it though. They were like Michigan State level. Like they're that level kind of. Strebel says, okay, he says, okay, I agree about UConn, but before Donovan and before Golden took over, Florida had nothing in between. They're still very recent. I can hear that, and I can definitely agree with that. I guess. Wait, that's a great point though. And it kind of going back to what I said, it's like, is it just like, I think that's the thing with the blue blood. Is it just one coach who was there who was spectacular? Or is it like a culture of like you have, and I think this is your whole point for wanting more for Louisville. It was like, it's like, is it just, we had like a lucky string of hired a few good coaches and they did great and let's be happy with what else.
Nearly
like,
50 years uninterrupted of greatness.
Coaches, you're going to come in here and be successful. I think that is a blue blood, and I think you're correct. I think that's correct.
Which is why I think, and I'm. This is again where Louisville fans will hate me as a Louisville fan, but like that's where I can open up to hearing like Strebel and your discussion of are they still blue blood, because you had 40 some odd, close to 50 years of uninterrupted, and I say greatness. I understand it wasn't titles every not even every decade, but it was really great basketball team, like really constant.
Like if you win a decade without a Final Four, it's like we've lost everything that we are and everything we hold holy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's where I can sit with that. But like, it's I think just because of what they've been able to do, and it's also UConn's done it. They've won titles. They won one with Kevin Ollie. Like that one is insane because
I know, like a Tubby Smith. It's like,
well,
hello,
and that was
like that to me says a little bit more blue blood.
Yeah, because if you're able to pull it off with a mid coach, and you know what I mean, like a fraudulent coach, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say it about Tubby because I love Tubby too. Like I actually like Tubby, I respect him.
Not a great coach, but like he won with. That's how good of a coach Pitino is and was to like win with his players, and like. I have a good friend who was on some of the Pitino teams and who was as well on, the Tubby team, championship team. And he said, I'm not going to say who it was, but he was like, yeah, like there wasn't like intense respect for Tubby like there was for Pitino. We kind of knew that we were winning it for Coach P. And I was like, to inspire like that type of loyalty in that team once
after he left,
it's crazy. But I had another point. I forgot it. But yeah, I do.
We'll be doing that a lot. It's okay. It's kind of what happens. But like,
I do that kind of every 30 seconds. But.
And I guess also to Strebel's point though, it's something to monitor. It's something where I'll sit with, I just have this respect for you. I think one of the things I have this hatred for UConn kind of because a couple of those I felt like they've lucked into those titles.
Oh, I have a story for this.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I was working one of the ones they lucked into. It was when UK was an 8 seed, Aaron Harrison. No, the year before that. So when they were like, we're going to do something crazy in March, it was like one of like his worst regular seasons, Calipari. And then they end up going.
Keep calm. The Twins are coming.
Yeah,
And I remember, yeah, this one little.
It was Napier. It was Napier, and I was working at Final Four for CBS, and so I remember driving like these UConn people to their car, like because I don't know who they were, how they were connected to the program, but I was driving them in the golf cart like to where they needed to be after UConn had beat UK, and they were like, well, like at least. This was Kevin Ollie championship. They were like, well, at least we did it the right way. Like, unlike Kentucky who cheats, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I was kind of older than them.
And now we're sitting here. Okay. Now we're sitting here in 2026, and it's like everybody's been fucking cheating. It's just Louisville couldn't do it.
Everybody's been cheating. Like Kevin Ollie was not a good coach, and you fired him. So shut up. It's almost like the state of America. You're like, everybody's a liar, and nobody's telling the truth, and we all suck. So
20
gonna ride with it.
2014 hurts me like no other because that UK U of L game. My birthday is March 29th. And every year, and I told people, because we have other people that TJ Walker, his birthday's like just the other day. And I was like, man, here's the thing. I have the worst or best birthday. And I haven't had to worry about this in a long time, but since Rick's been gone. But with Rick, they're constantly either winning massive games or they're completely ruining my birthday on my birthday.
Like the whole like goodness of your birthday. Wow, I've never thought about that. Mine's in the summertime. Like I have nothing to worry about.
Mine was the 28th. It was March 28th when they played in Indianapolis, and when Louisville pissed that one away, and I had to drive home on my birthday night with my twin brother, just angry and pissed off. And after that game, and then as that tournament unfolded. To be like, if Louisville wins that Kentucky game, I think they win the title again. I think they win back to back because that UConn team, they beat their ass by 30 points twice at least, and then I think it was like 15 the other time. So like they weren't losing to that UConn team.
We're talking about Louisville, Kentucky, like in contention for a national title, and not in contention for who sucks the most for a 6 or 7 seed.
Which is the sad part is we're I'm sorry guys, this is the nostalgia show because we're just gonna get distracted for the days that we want back.
It's all the wonder years. Look it up. It's what we're doing.
Yes, instead of talking about the teams that we have before us. Okay, let me shift back to that again. This is what we're gonna do. These are just bros hanging out, talking sports, and we're gonna keep. It is what it is. I'm sorry. And by the way, if I don't have a good. It is what it is when you're drinking Bud Light, guys. Make sure you join and drink Bud Light. They are sponsored to the station at ESPN Louisville. It's so good, refreshing, crisp. Pretend that I'm drinking a Bud Light on air right now. That's a good Bud Light. We love them. Appreciate the sponsorship. If you haven't already, go out and get yourself a Bud Light. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and stay locked in for After Dark on ESPN Louisville Plus.
It also is what it is when you drink a Bud Light.
Exactly. Thank you. I'll have to give you a couple of these to do if you want to do one.
It's all you.
That's fine for this one. Next time. Yeah, and I love my guy John C. sees it. Yep. Summer Shandy made by Miller. Yum. How could you tell? How could you tell? It's lemony delicious. Anyway, I guess okay. I'm trying to think the way that I can go about this in the most reasonable, not asshole-ish way about Louisville basketball and the tournament that is ahead of us. Pat Kelsey, I'm going to say this and just lay out the foundation of this, and it's my understanding and my belief that regardless of what Pat Kelsey does in this tournament, it doesn't matter. Some Louisville fans will get more angry. Some Louisville fans will be very pissed off and start calling or saying that the seat for Pat Kelsey is warming up. It is not my belief that that is the case. It is not my belief that that is even close to ever being possible. I think Pat Kelsey probably gets 4 to 5 years just because he gets that built-in excuse of, well, it's not Kenny Payne. And like, there's some of us that like, sorry, I drank too much beer.
I would be lifted.
And that's a part of what kind of has this rage underlying every tweet that I send out and every comment that I make. And it's kind of like it's that resignation.
Every human interaction I have.
Yeah. Well, it's just the resignation of mediocrity of like, I love, like, if you think you love Louisville basketball, I'm sorry.
That's a beautiful way to put it. The resignation of mediocrity. It's like, that's more depressing than sucking.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And that it enrages me. And it's like, people think that like, I hate this program. I'm like, buddy, it's the opposite. I love this program more than you could ever imagine. Any person that tries to tell me that they're okay with, just winning these bum games, having one quad 1A win the entire season that you get right before the season, like literally the last regular season game of the year. That's not Louisville basketball. Rick Pitino didn't do it. And I guess it's also, this is something we're going to talk about in the summer too, that like I thought of, but it's just like, did Rick Pitino slow the inevitable decline of like expectations? Like if Rick Pitino says yes to Michigan in that, March of 2001, is this what Louisville basketball looked like, a year or two in when they would have hired, what's his fucking name? The dude who was at college, Larry Eustace, who I guess was the other guy that they were looking at. And thank God they got Rick. But like, is that where we would be decades into this? And it wouldn't even really be a conversation of like the rivalry. You know what I mean? Like there wouldn't.
That up.
Like,
I think that's a genuine good question.
It's something that really makes me wonder. And it really makes me like kind of it's also why I will never be that I hate Rick guy. Like I'll never do the I cut off Rick thing now, because like Diener says this all the time. Like I root for people, not laundry. And I tend to agree with that. Like, in addition to all the people that also like to come at me, like I'm still paying student loans to that fucking university. So like chill out. Like half of y'all ain't never been to college, haven't set foot on that university. I ain't trying to talk down to people that don't. I'm not trying to do like you're a Walmart fan kind of thing. But what I mean is like I have more invested in that university than a lot of people do. And like, if I wish I had Taylor Lynch with me right now, because Taylor Lynch is a fucking firecracker, and you all don't get the everything that I wish he could put out there, because I love that man with the takes that he has coming out here. Anyway, Pat Kelsey.
Did Rick Pitino ruin these programs by having his standard that he had? Like that question.
He was too good. So now Louisville, Kentucky, or now you're spoiled children. That's what it is. Yes.
I would say different case for both programs, but this is something to investigate in the summer. I'm just saying. Slow time.
It is. I am. I'm actually going to write a few of those down, save them, because I think we could talk for a couple hours about that.
100%. And I like that you brought that up, because, I think that's a good point. And have other fans of Louisville had this same recognition? Have they thought the same thing? Why are their expectations different than yours? Like that would bother me. It's like, do you really think we're great and have pride in our program? Or like, why are we differing on this?
There's a few groups of fans. I think there's the fans that are like, I want to call them just kind of like, what do you call them? Not newbies. Casual fans. Yeah. Casual fans, which is like, it's fine to watch it. It's fun. I hope they do well. And then it's like, but like they lose.
That's not a blue blood. Like that's not what that is.
Yeah, like they lose and then they go around their day and they're just like, okay, whatever. But like, when I was in high school, like I said, I remember specific game to game. I could tell you every single game. I could tell you the Rutgers game that I locked myself in my room for a day and a half and didn't talk to anybody. Cry. That yes, like I'm too big of a man to cry. No, I'm kidding. I'm
never cried, but if he did,
but that's what I would have. But no, that's there was that rage. It's been there since I was a kid. It's just something.
It's like an outlet. Maybe like we're all insane, or we're just Italian.
I think it is. We're a passionate people. That's what I tell you. We're passionate. If you don't love our passion, then you never loved Rick. You never loved any of it. That's what it is.
Look at you. I'm going to cry about the basketball game. I'm going to cry about losing the Elite Eight to West Virginia.
It's going to ruin my entire day. Real quick, we have one of our members, including Drew Hoskins, who's been shouted to him as well. But my guy, Walt Nicholas, says, sorry, I it went by. The 2014 Sweet 16 loss is the only one that really made me mad. We were one Shane Mahannon blunt away from going back to back Elsa. That's true. Shane Mahannon just couldn't get the weed. Stay off the weed. I need to have that drop ready.
Weed, honey.
Yes.
Ooh,
and then Drew as well, another one of our members. And seriously, our members, Drew and Walt Nicholas, my guy. I'm just going to refer to you as the name I know you on here, not on Twitter. But shout out to you all. I appreciate the support. Thanks to guys like you all that keeps this channel and keeps us being able to bring more and more stuff. But he says,
thank you, Drew. It's good to see you.
Yeah, he said the Soforo crash out on Thursday will be so fun, win or lose. I'm
March
preparing
felt
for it.
weird this year to me. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the whole season has felt weird, and I'm like, is this called being an adult, or is this called? I think it's called having a coach where I guess this is really the first time in my lifetime. Like Billy Gillespie was only there 2 years, right?
Yeah,
and that was kind of like, I was in early high school.
Wait, was he 2? He didn't get to 3?
No, I think he was only there 2.
Yeah, you're right. It's Kentucky, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I think this is really the first time in my lifetime that like March isn't exciting. Like there were years with Calipari, right, where you don't make the tournament, whatever. Yeah. But I think Calipari is so unique. Like you can't discount that. Like even though it was time for him to go, finding a new coach after somebody like that, you're never going to recreate that. He's so unique. Anywhere he goes, anything he does, there's a chance every year, and there's no other coach like that. Just because of his whole system, and even with it is shocking and beautiful and almost miraculous to me that like his system still works with recruiting, even with NIL and even with transfer portal and how things have changed for every other coach so much. But for Calipari, it seems like he could still succeed that way. Yeah. In a way that's like, can still succeed no matter what, just developing his talent towards the end of the season. So I think there was a lot of excitement towards Mark Pope last season, right? With how they did the Champions Classic, playing Duke, all of that. And now this year, it's not in the tournament. This is the first season that I really just like tuned out, and not even on purpose, like out of rebellion, just like out of a lack of caring. It's like I don't even, and I'm ashamed of that a little bit, but it's just like I think deep down I know this isn't the guy, it isn't the standard. It just feels like unaffected. Like either way, I'm not super negative. Like I want him gone, but I'm like there's no like secret positivity. So like this is the least I've even watched college basketball. And I didn't realize how much like UK and the excitement around them ruled my college basketball like perspective.
Well, I mean, it gets us through the winter too, right? Like literally, when you don't have college basketball, and like I have the seasonal affective disorder. I hate. I have it so bad. I really don't.
I feel like I'm on drugs. So, bro, I'm like, oh my god, I just did something illegal. Like, no, it's just dying. This guy is spoiled. What you did.
Exactly. Like I don't enjoy. I hate cold weather. I'm a big guy, but I'd rather be sweating my ass off than freezing any day. Like I don't care. I think what you got hit with, which is kind of let me be careful when I say this because Lachlan McClain and people like that will come at me. I'm not saying obviously he's nowhere near as horrible of a coach as Kenny Payne, but early on you just got hit with some kill shots that just took you out of it because it just felt like the season's a waste. The season's a wash.
Demoralizing.
When you lose by 30 points to Gonzaga and you lose. I mean, you lost multiple games by like 20 points or something like that early on. And it was the same thing with Kenny Payne, where it was just like, this team ain't doing shit. Like, this team does not have it. Shockingly enough, and I know there's enough money being poured into that team that they have the talent. And that's not even, I'm not doing the rivalry fandom stuff.
I don't know what the fuck they paid for it because it wasn't talent. I don't know what the hell they were. Like, you also have bad economics. Like, on top of everything else, you have a bad financial advisor.
It's kind of like the talk about like Kentucky needing a general manager, somebody to actually work through and be like
John Wall, if you can hear us.
Like similar, like Pat Kelsey needs a guy when it comes like he needs an old guy, but he also needs a guy with roster construction to be like, hey, he needs a guy with experience actually winning in the NCAA tournament. He has somebody who can actually tell him how to do that. And at the same time, he also needs a guy to say, hey, pour some of this money that you wasted on shooters into some and I made the comment about like, oh, there's, and Nick Kern said it this morning where I was saying like, they just wasted, they didn't have to go get a big man. He's like, big men don't just grow on trees. They're not whatever. I mean, you can find a serviceable dude who is 6'10".
Yeah.
There was somebody out there. I mean, we saw flashes of it from Zugris there at the end of the season where I'm like, where the hell is this guy? He just has that motor, just a guy with a motor with a give a shit. And that's what he was doing out there. And I fell in love with this Greek god. Like this dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not like you watch Sinan Defru out there and he's like slow and kind of like still trying to like figure things out, but he's kind of, he did some decent things early on, but he just doesn't have that motor.
This is a really good point really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a position that's harder to find in the current landscape with NIL and with transfer portal? Because everybody's going off like raw metrics of talent, right? Like you're the great point guard, you're a great shooter, whatever. It kind of lends itself more into like what you see in the stat column. But like sometimes you just need like a great like bruiser, like down in the post, right? And I think Pope.
How many big freaks are there?
What'd you say?
Like how many big freaks are there? Because like
exactly.
There's a lot more 7-footers than there used to be, but there's just still not a lot.
Right? Like sometimes it's like toughness. Sometimes it's just like rebounding. Maybe it'll show up, but like sometimes it's just a presence. So but I think Pope struggled with this as well in trying to up in his whole system of what he's good at. Like Mark freaking Stoops, he reminded me of. It's like, let's up in everything that I'm good at and try to get these other type of players who I don't even know how to coach them in my system. And I think that is a position that is harder to recruit for, and you're going to get less money. Just an intangibles guy, just like a tough guy, a physical guy in the post who can facilitate an offense.
Unless you're getting like a, I'm sorry, I just go to what I know, like a Gorgie Zhang, like a guy who's a tremendous shot blocker, can hit mid-range shots and all this.
Like you're showing up in the stat column, right?
Yeah.
But like some of that's not that, and it's hard.
And a lot of those guys are unicorns. Like you're just not gonna find. But like
you can't even recruit for them sometimes. It's like they just are what they are. You're going off raw ability. Yeah. Which is like less and less in this day's game, right? Like this age's game.
Yeah, and to me it's just like motor. I put so much just into having a motor, just having that kind of, that energy. Tri says, what round exit will Soforo accept as a successful season? Here's the thing. Like, to me, I need evidence that Pat Kelsey can win one game in the NCAA tournament. He's 0-5 or 0-6 or whatever it is in attempts. And one time at Louisville and all the other times are Hofstra or wherever he's at in Charleston. But at the same time, I mean, it's easy to say, yeah, sure, that's fine. They're playing against good teams. But then, but how many times have we seen a Cinderella get one? Dusty May, who is now...
I was just going to bring up Dusty May. Like, why do you think he got hired at and who's not a blue blood? Michigan is not, I know they had Fab Five, but they're not a basketball blue blood. And you hire this guy who has been, like, that should be the standard of your program. Like, you bring
to clarify, they stole him from Louisville because Louisville was courting him and couldn't get the job done, couldn't close it. I know people said they want him to go, or he wanted to go to a football school first, where maybe the eye's not all on him. Could be that, could also be, I don't know how much Louisville was willing to pay him. That's what people say. That's what people say. I don't know. But I remember very much feeling like Dusty May was going to be the guy and it was going to be over. And I wasn't happy about it, but I was bleeping wrong. Like, I didn't realize it would go just downhill from there. No offense to Pat Kelsey. He can still prove me wrong, but nothing statistically, nothing in the games that he's won. He still has not won a game of merit. Like, to me, he just hasn't.
It's almost like the problem lies in the expectation, and like the longer you give somebody to prove themselves of what that expectation should be, and with somebody like Dusty May, who has proven himself in the tournament before, where Pat Kelsey has it, and neither had Mark Pope. Yep. It's like, okay, now you're slowly like building this expectation of like, okay, we win one game and we're excited about it. Like, no, like that almost like comes back and bites you. Like short term, maybe that does feel good. It's like, okay, we give them a longer leash to get used to it here, but like, that's never going to be your answer. It's like nobody's ever going to be satisfied. You almost set people up for failure. It's like, okay, nobody's ever going to be satisfied with that. And I think a lot of UK fans like agree too. Like Dusty May would have been like the greatest choice ever, like at Kentucky too. And I think that's just like tough. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. All the metrics were there. How did this get lost? Like, I don't know.
How are all these schools able to make these great hires? Like, how is Virginia able to hire Barry Odom? And he has Virginia, second. I mean, playing Duke down to the wire. Duke, who very well could win the national title this year. And Virginia doesn't really miss much of a beat and is back, being Virginia. Is back doing
after Tony Bennett. Like who was like that year that he P-worded out and was like, "Mom, leaving" in like October. For them to have such a turnaround, it's like this is my whole thing, and I think it does all boil down to the athletics director. So it is going to be very different if you get and here's the thing with Mark Pope. You get year 1, you get year 2. Year 3, you suck, and you get an aggressive AD in there. Like, it should be curtains for you, and I hope it is. I will stand on that forever. I hope it is curtains for you if you suck, and we get a good aggressive AD in there. And I think it all comes down to the AD. I do think Josh Hurt is great. I don't know what went wrong there. I don't
know if I agree with you there. I don't know.
I don't know. Like Mitch Barnhart, I get it. He's always been conservative. He had to be convinced to hire Calipari. So I'm not shocked by it. I'm glad he's leaving. And I'm almost like excited to see how this will play out if they hire an AD with a freaking brain. But like, look at Duke's AD, a woman. Yeah. Look at Vandy's AD, a woman. And I'm not trying to be like a woman show, but like, like Duke's AD, they won women's basketball, men's basketball, and like football. Like what? Like it is so possible. Just hire somebody who's competent and like have a higher like standard for hiring your AD than you do for your basketball coach, and it should all play out well for you.
Well, and your AD I'm sorry, but like your AD just needs to care about winning, like Jurch, like these guys that do. They need to care about winning. We don't need to have all like here's the thing. I'm trying to stay away from politics, but just like in politics,
like a fair society, we're trying to be a badass,
right? Yeah, exactly. Like it's not, and that kind of goes back to like the whole thing I do with like the fans loving these collegiate players and being like, oh, it's it's a feel good and all this. It's not a feel good. It's a business. It's about winning.
Especially not anymore when you have multimillionaires sitting on the goddamn bench. Are you insane? Do you know what they make compared to what you make in like not you, but like people in like a 25, 30 year career? Do you know what they make?
Yeah, it works compared to me too. That's how it works. It's fine.
It should levitate you out of your seat to see them not perform.
No,
I think it's fair to raise expectations exponentially with the climate of the league. You know?
Absolutely. And that's what I think. I think it's just you just need to have somebody who cares about winning, and that's really it. I guess to answer that question, for me to accept a successful season, I mean it's going to be hard. Like to me, it's doing the impossible, which is getting to the second weekend. And it's just because I'm sorry, winning against USF is kind of par for the course. It's kind of what he does. It's Pat Kelsey can beat a really good mid team. Like he can beat a very good mid team, but he's not going to beat, he's not going to beat these top level teams. He's not going to beat, again, it's not going up against Izzo. Beating a guy who Izzo's probably a lower tier on the respect level that I have for the old guard, but he is still the old guard. He's still one of those guys. He's a guy who's beaten Rick multiple times, ruined my birthday. Like I said, 2009, my 19th birthday. I remember it very fondly, or not fondly. I remember that. They should have won that game. We were anyway, number 1 overall seed. Anyway, but stuff like that, like to me, it's showing me that you can win multiple games in the tournament just to start.
Like, you probably win like 1 better than last year, like 2 better.
Yeah.
USF also. It's a tough matchup for Louisville. So Mikel Brown, let's say he's healthy. If not, they're in trouble, and it's going to come down to the 3-point line. It could be a record number of threes put up by those two teams. If not, and it's against Izzo. That's a horrible matchup for Louisville. They're big, they're physical, they're hard nosed.
Oh, it's one of the worst matchups Louisville could have gotten. Yeah, it really is. It's really bad. But hey,
let's see, Pat Kelsey does like incrementally better than last year. Like. I know you won't be satisfied with that, but will the fan base?
No, and it's a terrible one, but at the same time, I think the fan base will excuse it away because it's Michigan State and because it's Izzo, and they're like, well, you can't expect Pat Kelsey. Yeah, you can't. What, Pat Kelsey's gonna go out there and just beat Izzo? It's like, that's why you hire him. That's why you expect the head coach of Louisville to go out there and be able to play with and beat any team in the country. That's why he has the job.
You expect SC to do that, and you're saying like Michigan should have higher standards for basketball than Louisville. Like, I think you are rooted in reality. That's how I would feel, and it would piss me off if people didn't feel that way.
No,
there's such a small expectation.
And for Louisville fans watching, it's like, love y'all, but there are some of y'all that are fucking insane, and I don't understand how you put on your pants on in the morning and how you pay the bills with some of the excuses you make.
You put two legs in the lap, and we know it.
Ever since we lost in 2012 to UK in the Final Four, not 2014. Yeah, but we lost to them in the Sweet 16, which is the only time Rick Pitino's ever lost, in my knowledge, in the Sweet 16. I remember I was
keep talking about the little losses to Kentucky in the tournament.
The nuts, yeah. I forget about it because I do remember that moment. I was like, God, that sucks. You win a title, but you bookend it with 2 losses in the NCAA tournament to Kentucky. But at that point, like, it was easy to kind of move on because it was like, hey, it was the Final Four in Sweet 16, but it still sucked that UK won. If UK would have won back-to-back or would have won titles each time, that would have hurt a lot more. UConn saved me that year.
A lot more of like Louisville had just won that title like randomly and like Kentucky sucked. Like I would have maybe needed to be hospitalized. Like at that point, I was like unhealthily involved. So I think for my sanity, that's why I've like taken a step back this season. Yeah. I'm not lying to you. I'm like, I don't have the emotional wherewithal to like be fully invested right now with Mark Pope, and I know it's gonna hurt, and I don't think I can do it. So I'm trying to be realistic now and take a step back. You know, but like, I don't know why I wasn't doing that with the like bipolar Calipari, but you know what? At least there was always a chance. And I don't feel that way. And I think that's how you feel that way with Pat Kelsey, right? It's like, I think that's what it all comes down to. Yeah. I'm still like, while it's negative, I'm still very uncertain about how I feel about Pat Kelsey in the long run. But what I am certain about is first choice insulation. If you need your home insulated, it's going to be warm in the wintertime. It's about, or it's keep you warm in the wintertime. It'll keep you cool during the summer months. The summer's about to be here before you know it. It'll keep your house nice and insulated. Don't lose all that air, the air conditioning to the outdoor forces, if you will. I'm in the basement right now. We've got a crawl space over here. We just had insulated by first choice insulation, and now I stay warm and cool and exactly what I need to be. I think it's like 50, 60. Oh, it's probably about 60, 70 degrees down here all the time, and I feel good to go. Thanks to first choice insulation. If you could do me a favor, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button on this video. I'm not trying to keep you too late and too long tonight, but it's been a little bit. Just want to work through a couple. Here, Streeble's back. Streeble's back, guys. Couple things. Oh, also real quick, I do want to shout out my guy, Fireside Conspiracies NT. That is our guy, Walt Nicholas. He's launched his own YouTube channel where he's talking conspiracy theories and different things like that. Make sure you go give him a subscribe, like his videos and all that stuff. Give him a watch. He's a good watch, and I enjoyed it as well. He's also a really big supporter here on the channel. So to explore why UK is stuck with Mark Pope, check out the Barnhart Files after Soforo and Anna. Let's see. Kentucky didn't deserve to be selected today. They're absolutely horrible. The team sucks and the coach sucks. I can't remember when we had such a sucky team. This feels like years we didn't make the tournament with Calipari. Like, you're missing the point. Is like the upside is so much lower. Like, that's the issue. That's the whole problem. Like let's get Christian and gospel with it. The ability to hope for new life in March, okay, is so much lower.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, hope is no hope with Pope. We still got that shirt. Yeah, Pope
tattooed.
Cope with Pope. Pope didn't invite the media to the mansion for the selection show like Cal used to do. No chumming it up with players, nothing. And PK didn't do media either. See, and that's a great kind of reflection of where these programs are. I put this out there too as well. After Louisville lost, horrible timing. But that's when they should have scheduled it before the ACC tournament started. But and this is where people got mad at me too, and they went off. As I had pointed out that the Sports Illustrated special, the madness or whatever about Louisville and Pat Kelsey and all that, and I'm like, hey, do we need to do a March Madness featurette on a guy who hasn't won a tournament game? He's won ACC tournaments, but not a tournament games, but not an NCAA tournament game. And then at the same time, why risk dropping it the same day where he likely or potentially could lose? And I understand the views we get on these channels, like, or nothing compared to like real things, but like, that video on the first day did like 9,000 views, which Sports Illustrated did 9,000 views. That's abysmal. Like that's insane. That's not me just starting my channel. We've had videos on this channel do 9,000 views in a day.
More.
Like we've had
like 15 more.
That one live stream we did, did like it was while we were live. It did whatever that one time. It was like one time. But, I'm still counting it. But just showing how disconnected and like fans are, because like me, my thing is like that number shows, hey, Louisville fans aren't even watching it really that many, 9,000 views. And not just that, the national landscape, and again, I know everybody's gonna be like, oh, he's Big Blue Justin because I'm just so negative on Louisville stuff, but like it's the worst thing. But it's like, and I think because I've done like with the take with Andy and Strebel, and then associated with Strebel stuff more than other people, they view me as like part of the BBN conspiracy or whatever. But like, but you got him. Dude, gotcha, bitch. Anyway, that's the Chappelle show. But anyway,
I love the show.
It's so good. But it's just one of those moments, like to me, where it just shows like the national landscape, people just don't care anymore. And like, I'm not saying Kentucky's there either, because Kentucky's still blue blood and still whatever.
There.
But like,
is it me or like what's going on? Is it the difference between college football and college basketball? Like the product of college football is so much better. Like, does that play into it? Like, what do you think?
I think it could be, but I think the staying power of being a blue blood in football holds a lot more weight than the staying power of a blue blood basketball program, because people don't give a shit about college basketball anyway until the tournament. And when Louisville, Kentucky are, frankly, kind of like, we're both looking at Louisville, Kentucky, and like I saw people asking them, well, who do you think goes farther? Who do you think goes farther in this tournament? It's like, if anybody's going to go farther, it's probably Kentucky, just because we've seen Mark Post been able to, kind of like, win those weird games against better coaches. But the more likely cases, the more likely cases we're done by Friday. Or not Friday, by Sunday. We're done by Sunday next week. A week from now, we're recapping the season, and we're focusing on. I think so. I mean, I think it's highly likely. But okay, here we go. Let's see what. Okay, real quick before we get into the negative stuff, Connor Ashton says, Anna, somebody on Twitter who's
Connor, my boy. He's just me.
That's awesome.
I used to work with him. I miss you, Connor. That was my desk mate at my last job. Connor,
oh, okay.
I miss you literally so much. I just want to give a special shout out to my guy, Connor.
Yeah.
Love him.
I think I do remember you saying that before. When one of the shows we've done. Then we have Charles Gifts. Let's say, Charles, what you got, big boy? You people are not helping the situation. If you can't say something nice, just shut the hell
up. Situation, Charles. Because if you want to make a difference, guess what? Truth is love and love is truth. So what is hiding the truth? That's the opposite of love. That's hate. If you can't be honest about where your program is and where you want it to be and what your expectation is and what's wrong with it, you'll never fix it. You'll live in mediocrity forever. And that, to me, that sounds like the opposite of something good. That sounds like something very, very bad. So, Charles, I think you need to maybe reconsider where your philosophy of life is coming from, because the best thing you can do for somebody is be honest, and that's brave. And I have a lot of respect for people who are honest and when they don't like a product. Okay, how can it get better if you're gonna act, you like the slop you're being fed? Get out of here. No.
I think what Anna's trying to say is shut your bitch ass up. That is not how we operate over here as Louisville Kentucky basketball fans. And the problem with me is me being nice, me saying something negative or positive does not affect how that basketball team will perform on Thursday. It doesn't.
Okay, who's going to love you more, a real friend or a fake friend? If you're like being weird and annoying or going through a tough time, a fake friend is going to be like, no, girl, like you're doing great, and then like ignore your text. Like a real friend is going to be like, hey, this is the deal. I love you.
Cut the shit
together, because I see the best in you and I see how great you can be. So just think about that, Charles. What would you want your family to tell you if you were sucking at life? Would you want them to tell you it was okay? Or would you want them to tell you that you are secretly a genius and you're going to do great? I think the latter.
Yeah. I again, and Charles, I hope you're still in here. I hope you leave another comment and justify why you think the way you do, because I cannot in my mind perceive like any, and there's no intellectual way for me to understand how you operate and why you think me being nice. There's one thing, and I'll say this, I love you, Creighton, but Creighton said this one time before about like, it's Louisville basketball fans' job to make the team feel, or football fans' job to feel good when they're going into the game. And I said, it ain't my fucking job to make you feel good. It was last year, I think. Well, I think there was one guy who was being an AH and like yelling some terrible stuff at them. So he was upset about that. And I agree with that part. But it's not my job to make you feel good going to the game. I will cheer for you and I will clap, but it's not my job to be like hype you up. That's what the money's for. That's what whatever you're getting paid.
Oh, and whatever.
Yeah.
You're supposed to make people feel good. Like, why is there some like scale of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't get it. Guys, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Arizona continues to show they are in a tier of their own. They are the real number 1 overall seed. Judging by your avatar, it looks like an Arizona Wildcats. I'm gonna guess that you are an Arizona fan. But shout out. But I love that you're here. Hey, I like Arizona's. Obviously, I mean, they're number 1 seed. Like, obviously, do you really need to be the number 1 overall seed? Half the time, do you feel like the number 1 overall seed got really? They got rewarded this year? Do you think having St. John's, UConn, and the big bad Pat Kelsey machine in the same bracket as them, do you think they got rewarded? Do you not think that Shire doesn't wake up in cold sweats thinking that Pat Kelsey might be there at the end of the day to stop him from going to the Final Four? He's worried. Trice says, I need Anna's thoughts on UK recruits taking pictures with the replica Lamar Jackson Heisman Trophy. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's weird, right? Well, really weird.
Well, okay.
Why is it there? Like, Pete Nocta, why did you bring that there? Pete, it's Pete Nocta. Let's not kid ourselves. It has to be Pete.
Okay, like, who all get, like, Fernando Mendoza, like, the love of my life. I want to adopt him. Like, I know he has a great family, but, like, if you ever need to, like, I'll be like, Fernando, like, I'm like, he, like, was like, okay, like, the award is going to the school. And not to me, they're like, Fernando, like, don't worry, like, you get 2, like, 1 for you and 1 for the school. I'm like, dog, like, how many of these do they give out? What if I was like, what if I won the Heisman and I was like, I love my dentist. I want to have one. I love my 3rd grade teacher. Let's put it at assistant.
Right.
I love my 3rd cousins I never met in Chicago. Let's give 1 to them.
I thought it was just 2. I thought it was like the team got 1, and I thought you got 1. You put.
Where is this one coming from? Like, did they just spend their own money to make a replica? If so, that is loser.
It might be a replica. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I've looked for like my backdrop before, not for the Heisman, but when I was doing Juventus stuff, I was like, I kind of want a fake like World Cup trophy behind me.
Because you're not like.
I'm okay with being a loser. It's fine. I'm good with it. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, you can call me a loser. It's fine. It doesn't bother me.
Loser. Like if I did a replica, like how people hang like replica banners, like in their basement, like of Kentucky, like national championships. It's like, you know that's not the real thing, right? But if you're on a recruiting visit in the football office with a fake Heisman trophy, like that feels a little bit real. Like, why would you take a picture of like a fake like Olympic medal? Like, that's loser. It was loser. It was weird to me. I was like, did you pay to get that made? And like, who among you? I was like, did Will Stein? Because he like kind of was like, that's very weird to me. Like, to me, it has rival.
It has to me. The only person it could be, I mean, it could be a lot of people, but I think because Will Stein never coached him, was never there during that time, it has to just be Pete Nocta and just having it to be like, hey, I coached or I didn't coach, but I whatever. It is weird though. It is a very weird
like that. Yeah. I saw that picture and I was just like,
it's not a good look.
When you say first, it's like, why do you even have that? And did you get it on Shein or Temu or like did you actually pay?
It doesn't help with the the Louisville junior kind of football program approach. Kind of like just do your own thing at this point.
That's embarrassing. Like I'm embarrassed. That's why I didn't say anything. And it's just like the logistics of it. And I'm embarrassed. I don't know. The whole thing was like just very not cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up though. Because that's one of the things like it's felt a little bit off season since I've been ignoring basketball, but that's one of the things I've had like a visceral reaction to lately. I was like, like I just have questions and I don't like the questions. I don't want the answers to them.
Yeah. Let's see. A couple more. There was hope we at least have played a moderate amount of defense in the last couple of weeks. Also, college basketball has gone downhill since coaches decided to wear loungewear to work. I do. That's such a not that it's not a bad take, but it's just a take that like it shouldn't really matter. But I do. There's part of me that agrees. Like when I watch Rick come out there and he's wearing the suit, and that's one thing that I even give Pope credit to. Those games is in Rupp, he wears the suit and he at least tries to look nice, though he looks like a principal and he doesn't look like a basketball coach. He just
principal you're not scared of.
Yeah,
like a principal like you fought a kid and they are not going to kick you out.
Yeah, That's you're not wrong. We've been going for a while, about an hour and a half now. We talked about Louisville. It was just anything about Kentucky's draw. The problem with me is like the Santa Clara game. I expect them to go out there and win that game, but it's also one of those teams that like I just don't know enough about. That I guess it's they could give that upset, whatever, fine. But we won't know till it happens. It's just one of those games, and anymore, I don't think we view Louisville or Kentucky as a team that just like that's embarrassing loss. It's not at this point now. Unfortunately, it's just like I could see that happening because they're a 7 seed.
Doesn't that say more than anything? Yeah, like I do have thoughts. Like Santa Clara has size and they can shoot it, and they've got a great coach, Herb Sendek, who's a Patino tree. So that's all very bad news for UK. Mm-hmm. They beat the hell out of Xavier. I'm just gonna like read from my notes right here. They almost beat St. Louis. They played Gonzaga better than Kentucky did, but like, how much do we count those games where UK absolutely sucked? When you also had games where they beat Patino and they beat Calipari, but that to me identifies a bigger problem where you can't beat these other teams and you lose by like eons of like 3 decades of digits. But so I don't know. Santa Clara, they beat St. Mary's to beat Gonzaga. They're a really good team. I do think they do get that win, but I don't think Mark Pope. They win one if they're lucky. Like their next matchup, Iowa State is horrible for them. They're hard-nosed, they're physical, they're disciplined, extremely well coached, which is just so disappointing about Mark Pope because, like, in year 2, I never would have thought we would have regressed to, like, let's just get talent here and then, like, take a backseat on the coaching. The coaching is worse than ever for me, including lineups, which was the whole problem with Calipari. It, like, almost feels like we're repeating Calipari in terms of lineups, in terms of coaching.
But it kind of feels like he really doesn't know what he's doing.
You know really what I
mean? Like Cal, we made the jokes and we said the stuff, and it was like, he rolls the ball out there, but like he knows what he's doing,
right?
Yeah,
it was like his whole thing was like a psychology project. It seemed like he was trying to like do the best thing for his team in terms of like motivating confidence, right?
Like he's that hands-off teacher, like the teacher that's like, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna take our lumps, but they'll figure it out. Trust me.
It's parenting, right? And when you recruit the best of the best, you have a confidence in them. They've always figured it out. That's how they got to that level. Like that's how they figured it out in AAU. That's how they figured it out and got to where they were. Yeah, that is a wonderful point. But with Mark Pope, I feel like it's a lack of confidence, and he's like going to other people. It's like Mark Stoops. It's like recruiting this game, these wide receivers, and like this like flashy offense that's so different than like your running backs and your defense and what you were good at. That is what Mark Pope has done, and it's like based off of insecurity. But with Iowa State, I mean, like they beat great teams this year and really like played well, very strong, great teams. They have a win against St. John's. I know that Kentucky does as well. They spanked Purdue. They split with Kansas. They couldn't beat Arizona, although they gave them a really great game. But year 3 of Pope next year, I mean, like let's say they're not going to win more than 1 game. Like maybe they're lucky they win 2. Like they're not going more than 2. I see them winning 1 and losing the second game. But year 3 needs to be totally different, and I just don't think it will. I don't think he has that type of like genius to him. I think all of the best college basketball coaches are genius. I think with Pitino, it's in his terms of like perfectionism, and it is in the terms of like developing players, and it is in the terms of like almost being a sociopath and never sleeping. Like same with Dan Hurley, same with like being so just like clued into details. With Calipari, it was like who he recruited in his psychology and being a great people person. Mark Pope doesn't have like a specific type of genius except for like being nice, and that's not going to get you anywhere. So year 3 is make it or break it, and you're going to have a new AD.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I don't see them getting past Iowa State. I don't, and I think that is the culmination of the whole season for me. And I didn't like intentionally buy out. Like I didn't intentionally be like I'm going to start paying attention. I don't know whether it was like a self-defense mechanism, me being like, it is too painful to watch this and I don't even want to know. Or it's just like, I know what this is about. Nothing's changing. Like with Calipari, at least you could watch through the season and it would develop and it would change what you thought. Even in that the Harrison year, even with 2014, and they make a huge run when you thought they were totally out of it, especially after a 2013 year with the NIT.
You got that tweet going.
Yeah.
but it was, it worked.
With Mark Pope, I'm just like, I know what you're about. And I think it all boils down to like intellect or like intellect or like ability, which is still intellect, to like just like a genius type of like specificity to get your team where it needs to be. And Mark Pope didn't have it.
I think you and I are in especially you now, because I am, but Louisville's, we've already done this once. So it's kind of like, I have to be more patient, if that makes sense. UK doesn't have to be patient because this is the first time you're doing it. This is very much and it's why I couldn't do Mike 1 daily radio. I was great. Like I could be a producer. I couldn't imagine doing it. Like I couldn't imagine how Andy and everybody did it. Like I would come in and be a producer and just be angry. And like I would just blurt out something and then I'd just shut off my mic and whatever. But like to come in every day and to just try to talk about, like, we know what this is. We see what this is. We, if Mark Pope's going to prove that he is going to be a national championship contending coach, there better be something that happens in this offseason. Like maybe he comes back and you know how like they're saying now, like the Epstein files, they're saying that people will just disappear and they're like killed off or whatever. And they bring them back as like, clones or aliens or whatever. You're going to have Mark Pope disappear for about, the Kanye West thing. He says, if I disappear and whatever, I come back 5 weeks later and everything's fine. It ain't me. Mark Pope's going to disappear one day. And then he's gonna come back looking kind of more like Shire, like a little bit more handsome-ish, little kind of alien-looking-ish. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden he's just coaching the fuck out of this team. I have no other word to use outside of it.
We like use like Patino's like blood samples from his hair transfusion, his hair transplant.
Yeah.
Work up in a lab.
Yeah, like they said that like Kanye West came back and he was like 4 inches taller than he was before because Kanye has always been short, and now he's like towering over this other woman or whatever that he's with, who's like the same height as Kim, and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad. A little weird that he's having her be naked all the time, especially when you went through this Christian phase. Yet you come back and now it's right, like how that happened. Anyway, we'll save that for the off season. But
we're talking about the tournament.
But like Mark Pope's gonna come back and he's gonna be like 6'3", 6'4", and it's like, this is weird. He's tall, but he's not that tall anymore. Yeah. He doesn't look as like, he doesn't look like a Saint Bernard. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have that like that. Yeah. That like, or he's kind of like he's more of like a Labrador retriever. It's kind of what he looks like. Yes, he's got some patch. And he comes back. That's who Mark Pope is when he comes back. Then I'll believe it. But like, we're just kind of like, you're gonna be stuck, and we're gonna be stuck doing this conversation unless he proves something in this tournament.
Unless we get the government involved, unless we get Palantir involved.
Yeah,
and maybe other governments.
Yeah. Well,
that's the first time I've been pro-government.
pro Epstein replacement system or whatever.
I've been pro like really scared technology.
Yeah,
like if we get wins, if we get a championship.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the new frontier.
Yeah,
it used to be Calipari doing one and done. But
man,
baby, that was like 9/11. He like started that stuff.
Listen, if that stuff's true, And I know a lot of it is rooted in satanic stuff. So I should be, and I am vehemently against it, obviously, as a Christian.
What?
But, hear me out, but.
What? God dang it.
But if you could get Rick Pitino's DNA and clone him, and then you got a new baby Rick, and it's like, it's not Richard. It's real Rick. And it's
I'm
baby
scared
Rick.
of you because I've been against this vehemently.
And now I'm like,
but
but if it's Rick Pitino, and if it's young Rick, and he gets Rick's probably going to hell anyway. I'm sure he's done some terrible stuff. So we already know.
A satanic ritual.
Yeah, well, if he's done that, then yes, he will. So he's going to need to stay alive. He's a lizard person. Streeble's asleep by now. Otherwise, we'd have Streeble doing the whole lizard person talk. And
probably up.
Yeah, he might be. I don't know. He's probably got school tomorrow, right? Or is it?
We're listening to Insane podcast right now.
We might. There's a possibility that when he's off, we may be able to talk him into it maybe one time. I think we, especially with all the crazy stuff, because like his weird Wednesday with the amount of stuff, and I'm talking about, I open up my social media and some of the stuff that I see, and I go down rabbit holes for hours. So that 30 minutes a week ain't enough to talk about it, bro. We need more time. Yeah, anyway,
we gotta do a weird Wednesday on here.
Yeah. So okay, I guess
live.
Agreed. I think let's just go ahead and let's put a bow on this one for now, because it's getting late, and I know we've made mistakes where we've gone way too late before. But real quick, try to say will Soforo crash out if Michael doesn't play? No, at this point, if he plays, if he doesn't play, even when he was playing, he wasn't really putting up those numbers recently. I'll live. The team should be able to finish out. I guess to be able to fully call this a NCAA tournament bracket show, let's just wrap it up with how far do UK and U of L go? Official, your take, as well as who's your national champion. I'm not gonna make you do Final Four. Just who's your national champion at this moment?
Michigan national champion. Michigan national champion. UK goes second round, loses to Iowa State, and I'm going to give U of L same thing. Second round, loses to Michigan State.
Okay, I was wondering. I was wondering.
I wanted to say first round, but I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be, I'm going
to do it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say Louisville's going to lose first round, because I haven't seen Pat Kelsey win a first round game. This is definitely, there is no reason that like I said, if you look at USF and you look at the makeup of that team, they're very much a destitute Louisville basketball program. And those are the kind of teams that Pat Kelsey kind of buries for Louisville. But I just wonder if this moment, Michael potentially still not playing, I wonder if it's still going to be too big for him. And I've just seen him let me down in moments where, how committed is he to continuing to trust Isaac McNeely, a guy who I think shouldn't even, dress to wear the jersey again at this point, but he's going to keep letting him play. If he comes out there and is hot and is hitting threes like they expected him to do, then maybe they have a chance to give Michigan State a game, but I just don't see it. I'm going to say Louisville loses first round, just because I would like to be proven wrong.
That's on data. That's on scientific data, so they can be mad at you.
Yeah, thank you. And then Kentucky, I think the same way. I think they win the first game. I'll be honest though. Iowa State, I think that they could, because Iowa State, they've had some great games. They've had some, like that game against who they lose to Hughes? No, what was it? Houston played Big 12. Right? Arizona. Yeah, thank you. That Arizona game was like one of the games of the season for me. Like it was a blast. I've also seen games where they've kind of come out flat and just fallen on their face, and it just didn't make any sense. And I wonder if that could be one of those games that Mark Pope could get. And that's why I have a little bit more confidence in him. Maybe I'm putting pressure on Kentucky.
That's a great point.
But I don't see Kentucky or Louisville. I really don't see him getting past this weekend. I just don't. Unfortunately, it's just, it's weird. A decade ago, the pressure, the anger from Louisville, and all the Kentucky, and always feeling like, it felt like Kentucky was always going to get to the Final Four. And like the years when Kentucky was bad was when Louisville was up, and I was like, Louisville's going to go to the Final Four. Now it's hey, can one of you please do something?
Right.
Poke him with a stick. Are you alive?
Yeah, are you alive with this? Do something. Do something.
Yes. Do something,
like,
please.
There was something to root for or root against. And it's like, we were living in the glory days, didn't even know it. And like, I think maybe it does take a minute to get over Calipari and the excitement he brought up and down, but like, it's almost like a toxic, like ex, right? It's like, you liked them, but like, you would never go back to the ups and downs. Like, you want somebody more consistent. Maybe like, it's just like a bad rebound where you know like what to expect. I don't know.
No,
I don't know why I'm trying to like.
No, I agree with you.
That's what it reminds me of. It's like, yeah, that was exciting, but it didn't feel healthy or like something to depend on, like other great coaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Real quick, I almost forgot. Shout out to our final partner that I need to actually got through the whole list of partners for the night, and that is Circa Sports Kentucky, based out of Franklin, Kentucky. The sports book, they are Kentucky's best sports book to bet on basketball, football, and more. Make sure you tune into them. You can go down to Franklin if you're there in person, or obviously use the Circa Sports app to place all your bets and all your fun stuff for there. And make sure you place your bet on Kentucky or Louisville if you think that they're going to win. But we'll see. And shout out Drew Hoskins says Anna back in peak yapping form in her return. I'm already looking forward to the next After Dark, though NCAA success is unlikely. We will see. We'll keep you covered every step of the way, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for coming back. I know it's been a little bit since we've been doing this, but hopefully Anna and I can keep this up and do it some more and have some fun together talking sports, and hopefully U of L and UK will give us things to look forward to in the future. Anna, thanks for tuning in. Oh, also my guy Walt Nicholas says I run a third shift, so always appreciate the late coverage. Thanks, guys. Yay. And then he uses, it doesn't show it on this. I need to get it where it'll show it, but he has the L's up and the incredible bulk of Strebel, the icon as well. We do have an L's down one as well. So if you guys haven't already, if you're a UK fan and you want to join the member squad, you can drop L's downs in the chat to combat our L's up as well. Guys, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Anna, any final words before we get out of here?
No, feels like a weird tournament to me. I don't know what to expect, but I'm excited to be back in the podcast game. I've missed you guys, and I'm ready to give you my full unfiltered thoughts and emotional experience. And I won't be shy. If I'm mad, I'm mad. You'll know it. And I know Soforo's the same way.
You're damn right. I'm glad to have her back. Anna, thank you, guys. We will see you all next time. Follow ESPN Louisville 680 93.9 The Ville. And of course, you can follow me at Justin Soforo on Twitter, and Tarullo tweets at Tarullo tweets on Twitter as well. We'll see you guys next time.